What's going on, YouTube? This is Luke with Endless Entrepreneurs, just coming to you this Sunday afternoon. It is rainy and cold here in Charlotte, and I am using the day to get caught up on listings, organize my storage bin, and I just thought I'd take a break and come to you guys with a sales update. Now that my business trip's over for the week, and we got about a week or so here to finish April, I thought it'd be a great time to come to you guys and show you how my month's been going, what's been selling for me, what my listing goal looks like, and just kind of show you that I'm starting to finally come out of the dungeon of what April sales were during Easter week. So if you're new to my channel, I am a part-time eBay seller and a full-time corporate finance analyst. I build my business in my spare time very seriously, and I have a pretty large 100K goal to hit this year in my business, as you can see from the title. I'm going to give people a few minutes to filter in before I jump into where I'm at and what's been selling. Let me just jump over to the comments here, see who's joined. Hey, Lauren, thanks for stopping in. Hi, Leah. Hi, Tony. Hi, No BS. Tony said, missing some of your spreadsheet. Not sure what that means, Tony. I think I sent it over to you via email. And just on that point, I'll be doing hopefully a video later this evening, kind of unveiling the website. It's not, like I said, it's not 99.9% done at this point. I'm just waiting on a picture from my designer, and I will go over kind of what it looks like, and we'll do like a walkthrough of where you can find resources. I know a lot of people are looking for my spreadsheets and such, so this will be a great place where you can download them so that I don't have to email you back, you don't have to wait on me, etc. Hey, Warren. Hi, Mammy Reseller. Hi, Michelle and Amy. Thanks for stopping in. All right, we've got 26 watching live. I'm going to jump in just to keep this short and concise. I'm going to try to keep it to a half hour. We'll definitely have Q&A at the end. Let me share my screen, and I will make sure I don't exit out of the broadcast like I did the last time I shared my screen. All right, so we're good there. Let me flip over. All right, so as of now, you can see right here, I'm just under $4,000. And guys, this is from everything through yesterday, so the 22nd. I do have some sales today and some listings today, but I'm just going to talk about through the 22nd since it's a complete day. So I was really, really down during Easter week, but this last week I've made a really decent recovery. So I'm up to 4K. I'm about a little behind pace for breaking 6K. But I'm hoping for a really strong finish to April and maybe can get over that 6K mark again. I don't think I'm going to beat my March sales, but if I can get close, I feel like that's a win with how bad they were during April. So yeah, so just under 4K. Let me flip over to my spreadsheet here for you guys. We can kind of talk through it a little bit. So as you can see, the first chunk of April here, I was sick and just didn't really do much, unfortunately. But sales were pretty strong. They weren't too bad. I had one down day there and one down day here. But then as you can see, I hit Easter time frame, and sales just dropped off a cliff, like barely anything there. And I actually blanked for like a 36-hour period without a single sale. They started to kind of recover here. And then you can see from like the 17th on, we started to kind of get steady again. Been listening a little more consistently, as you can see here. For those of you who haven't seen my spreadsheet before, and this will be linked up on the website if you don't have it yet when it goes live. But basically, I just keep track of each day and what I do productivity-wise. So we have items listed, we have items sold, the value of them to get to my average sale price here. I also have items purchased, the total cost of the items, and the average cost per item I bought. I also keep track of food and beverage over here, which I haven't actually updated for this month. And then some just supply stuff, so like I bought bins, tapes, Tide pens, things like that over here, just so when tax time comes, I know how to bucket them, and it's just easy to find. It's easier to keep up with on a daily basis, guys, or weekly basis, than to wait till the end of the year and try and figure it out. So my goal every month is to list 350 items. I'm only at 140, but I've already listed a decent chunk this morning, and I'll probably be over 200 listings by the end of today, believe it or not. I prepped a ton of inventory on Friday, Saturday, so it's really just a matter of chilling on the couch and getting it done. It is rainy and cold outside, so there'll be lots of productivity today, which is good. As you can see, I've actually sold, technically, on this through the 22nd, I sold more items than I listed, which is never a good thing for growing. And you can see my total here is actually lower, and that's because I haven't updated. I had a couple unpaid items that just came through, and I thought that they were going to be returned, and they're not, so I need to add those in here. But that sale, you saw the eBay total, and that's what it really is. My average sale price has gone up from last month. I'm hovering around that 27 mark, which is great. I was around 24 the month before, so really focusing and honing in on not taking lowball offers, and is really starting to help. I think I've also had some bigger sales, which we'll cover during the different items that have sold. But as you can see, progress-wise here. I'm at about 22,000 year to date for sales. So almost a quarter of the way there. So behind pace technically, but when you consider the curve of eBay, especially clothing sales, right, it should go up in a linear, more of a curved fashion, very steep towards fourth quarter. So I would expect to make up that and some in the back half of the year, as long as I keep staying consistent. For items listed, I'm 28% of the way there, which is cool. And for items purchased, this is actually not completely up to date, because technically I just ordered those 3,000 pair of pants. So I haven't figured out how I'm going to handle that yet. And I'll talk through what I decide with you guys, just from a kind of a perspective of taxes and things like that. But if I continue with average costing, it's going to drive down my cost per good, because I'm getting them so cheap and there's so many of them. So I may track it separately for a while and figure out what's best at the end of the year. I also want to track the bulk shipment separately for you guys, just so you can see the return on investment, whether I made a good buy, a bad buy, and you guys can hopefully learn with me. So enough of the spreadsheet. You guys can see where I'm at. You see I need to pick up the slack a little bit towards the end of this month, but definitely in a lot better shape than it was last month listing wise. So let me jump over to eBay again, and we will cover 15 items that sold. I just picked kind of a bunch of random ones, some bread and butter, some home runs, just to kind of give you guys a feel for what I'm selling and finding. So these were new Perry Ellis. They're like a beige pleated non-iron dress pants. I love finding the non-iron ones, and I find these new with tags ones, believe it or not, very frequently. And I get them for $4 at my store. So in these for $4, they sold full price. They're on sale, $26.39. Shipped them flat rate, so all in before fees for like $10 here. So decent flip. Very happy with that. Let me flip over here. This is a really unique item. So I've never found one before. It's just a basic Brooks Brothers polo, but it's St. Andrews links is in like actually on the tag, and I think that's what this emblem is. I'm not positive, but I think that's what it is. In either case, I had this up for like less than a month, and it sold for $23.99 full price. I kind of think I should have priced it higher. Here's your tag. I think I might have underpriced myself, but either way, I'm in it for $4. It was shipped first class. I'm really happy with that. All right, and this is just a cotton polo. So I've been getting into shoes more. These I picked up probably 2 months ago while we were visiting some family in Raleigh. They're not a really recognizable brand. The only thing I could find was Old West on them, but they were the pink pattern, the contrast and the brown. They were genuine leather, and they were women's, size 7 or 7.5. I actually took a best offer for $39.99 for these with free shipping. This is one of my first. This is before I flipped to having calculated shipping on my shoes. But as you can see, I actually had to use my hand to flip these up because they're so folded down. But they're in pretty decent shape. You see the bottom there. Not a lot of wear on the bottoms. There's your tag. So I didn't know much about these, but I was in them for $4.99. And I'll ship these out. These just sold, so I'll ship these out this weekend. Not sure where they're going to, but hopefully they'll be somewhere between like that $7 and $10 mark to ship them. So decent profit there. Definitely learn a lot more about shoes. I've been watching Tino, the Soul Advisor, his channel quite a bit. He's been putting on a lot more videos on like what's sold lately for him, and that's helped me start to learn the different brands and such for what to look for. There's definitely a lot of bigger margin in shoes I'm noticing, so I'm going to keep expanding into that when I'm out thrifting for sure. This was something I found in a haul video not too long ago. It's an Air Jordan crew neck sweatshirt. I took a best offer of $30. It was on sale for like $37.99. I could have countered. I mean, I probably could have got closer to 40 if I held out for this, but with sales being so low during Easter time, I was okay with $30. I'm in it for $3.99. Here's your tag. $3.99. It'll ship. It might ship first class. It might be light enough. It was a pretty lightweight sweater. If not, it'll go a flat rate for $6. So decent turn there. Real happy with that. Here is Lucky Brand. These are kind of, I've actually shied away from picking these up lately. They're women's Lucky Brand. They just seem to sell really slow for me. I don't know why. And for a lot lower price than the men's ones. So these were on sale for I think $23.99. I took a best offer at $20, so still a decent profit, but I'm in them for $5, shipping them for $6 unless they're under a pound, and then it's closer to $4. But either way, it's kind of thin on the margin. It's still decent. It's like 40-45%, but if they're going to move slow, I might just get away from picking these up altogether. I'm not positive. I have got about 30 of these up, I think, 30 pair of Lucky Brand women's jeans. So I'm just going to see how they do for the next month, and I might change my buying decisions based around that. But here's the tag. I don't know if I have, yeah, there's that. So there's your tag there. All right. So this was kind of cool. You can see right here. So I sold this as new without tags. You can see the string here. You can see where the tag was kind of ripped off, and it was clear it hadn't been worn. So I didn't feel like I was pulling over on anyone. And you have the string right here. And so this was Peter Millar, and it was just a basic golf polo shirt. Let me see if I find the tag for you here. It was a XXL, which was great. It had like a really cool green with purple stripe pattern. Took a best offer of $35. This was on sale when I took that offer. I was very happy with that. I'm in it for $4, and it will ship first class. This, if you follow me on Instagram, I posted about this the other day. When I found it, I posted about it, and then it sold. It was on sale, and it sold for $47.99. So this brand Scully is definitely one to be on the lookout for in the Western niche, and it's a pearl snap. And this was a very basic compared to the comps I saw. I saw a lot of like crazy embroidery ones that were selling for 60, 70, 80 bucks. This one was a little more bland, so I couldn't price it as high. But let me show you some of the pictures here. But it was just black. It had like an embroidered check on it. Had this nice flip cuff here. And here is your brand. It's got almost reminds me of like the Robert Graham type, embroidery here. So really, really high-end Western brand, apparently. I think other items within this brand sell really well. If you're looking at other clothing items and shoes and boots and stuff, I didn't research them as much, but that's what everyone's been telling me. So I was in this for $3.99, flipping it for $48. Went first class. Really, really happy about that. All right, I find these every now and then, these like Nike team polo shirts. They're like a dry fit. This one was a Florida State Seminoles one, and it was in solid shape. It's got the Nike fit there. It's got embroidery on the back. It's kind of like the older paneling pattern to it. Let me see. And there's your Nike team, Nike fit dry. So I took a best offer. This was on sale. I took a best offer at $20. It's on sale for like 22 or 23 bucks. So really happy with that. That's kind of a bread and butter item for me, something like this, in it for $3.99, flipping it for 20 bucks. Again, here's some shoes just to stick with that theme of expanding out. So these were the Aristocraft penny loafer line of Johnson & Murphy. These were in like near flawless condition. They were excellent. Very little wear on them. You can see even the soles have the print on them is like pristine. Here's the wear on the bottom, not much wear at all. You can still see the name there. So I took all in for these. I took a best offer. I think it was like $38 plus shipping. So it was about $45 all in. I'm in these for $5. Probably could have got a little higher, but I mean, again, with sales being slow, that margin's really healthy for me, and I'm going to do that just to spark things and get it going. Really happy with this flip, and especially as I'm starting to learn more about shoes. Sticking with that theme, here is Dr. Martens. These were in okay shape. They had some moderate wear on them, and highlighted in the pictures. These were women's. They are very small, size 4 UK and 6 US. But you can see they're decent shape, and they had the original cushion tag on them. So I don't know much about this brand. I'm starting to learn a lot more. Here's some more pictures for you guys. Lots of tread on the bottom. You can see lots of life in those. These sold for, I took a best offer of 30, I think it was 36 plus shipping, 35 or 36 plus shipping. So it was over $40 all in for these, and I'm in them for $5. Hopefully they'll ship for, $7, $8 when I get them out this weekend. And I had 4 days handling, guys, while I was on my business trip. So that's why you're seeing a lot of these ended like in the middle of this week. I'm not shipping until this weekend because I put 4 days handling while I was traveling. This was a cool item. So it's like a long sleeve polo sweater basically. And it was a 2XL tall, brown with a burgundy pony on it. And it was, I think this was, this was Pima cotton. So it was like a lightweight dress sweater. Here's your tag. Any of the 2XL tall, like 2XL talls or bigs, or any of the big and tall stuff, basically for Polar Alpha, does well for me. I actually sold this. It was on sale. And I took a best offer of $22, which I was totally happy with. In it for $4. It did have to ship flat rate because it was over £1, but still not a bad turn. Fascinable. Here's another brand that's a slow mover. Used to be a really hot brand, but I still pick it up, especially if I find like the big sizes. I'm okay with it moving a little slower. Took a best offer of $22 for this. It's just a basic gray, like quarter zip dress sweater, nothing fancy. It's in really good shape and it's a bigger size. Here's your tag. But in it for $3.99, and then they'll ship flat rate. All right, here's a Canali blazer. Now this price is a little deceiving. It was on sale for 20% off, and then I took a best offer for $40, which probably was below my threshold that I normally would for this, but I'm in it for $5. I'm shipping it for probably $6. I'm perfectly content with that margin. If I wasn't slow on sales, I might have held out for closer to 55 or 60, but either way, decent profit, great to turn that. Let me show you the tags on this, guys. Here's that. And there you go. And just so you know, for this brand, 52 here is the European size, so it's actually a 42 in the US. All right, here's some BKE Big Star jeans. These are the Maddie mid-rise fit curvy stretch was the full line here, I guess. And they're in good condition. They had a little bit of wear on the cuffs of the jeans, which I highlighted in the picture. Here's your tag. Let me see. Let me show you. That's kind of how I highlight. You can see the wear on them. So took a best offer of $40 for these. Was very happy with that. In them for $5. Shipped them flat rate. So definitely stepping my jean game up a bit thanks to Prof Sales over on his channel there. But definitely learned a lot more about jeans. And then this last one before we switch over to Q&A was the home run of definitely the week, or the last week and a half, I would say. This kind of sparked me getting out of the Easter slump too. So this was a Giorgio Armani gray pinstripe suit. It was on sale when it sold for $119.99. Was very, very happy with that. I was in this for $10. It's like a heavier wool. The pinstripe too, you can see is like kind of a darker one. And let me see if I can find a tag for you. Here is your tag. So it was in good condition. There was a faded mark on the leg, which I highlighted right here, and they had no problem with. So far, I haven't had any. Haven't heard from the buyer. I'm hoping that they're good with it. Suits are kind of one of those things that sometimes they'll come back to you if they don't fit just right. But hopefully, I always try to make sure that in the sizing I'm very specific on my measurements. So hopefully this doesn't come back to me. But great turn, $10. I shipped it. Actually shipped for like $8. I shipped this before I left, and it was an awesome turn. Very happy with it. So let me stop sharing, and I'm going to jump back over to comments here and see how everyone's doing. Looks like we have 64 watching live. Thank you very much for everyone stopping in. Really appreciate it. I'm going to scroll up. I'm at 10 minutes here before I get back to work, so I'll take some Q&A if you guys would like. I'm going to scroll up through and see if I'm missing anything here. Feel free. And just put question and then your question afterwards so I can see it quickly. Let's see what we got here. Tony said, what's your percent of getting feedback from buyers? That's a good question. It's pretty low. I would say like 1 out of 10, like 1 out of 10 sales probably. And that's just an estimate, but it's pretty low. I mean, I have 18 or 1900 feedback around there, and I've been selling for several years, thousands of sales. So it's definitely low. Let's see. LA Baby said, I love the scaling show with Dave and Chris. Yeah, if you haven't seen that show from Friday night, guys, I learned so much from Dave and Chris that night. It was incredible, the difference, of opinions, philosophies, the size of their business. It was such a learning experience for me. It was an awesome video. It was longer, it was an hour and a half, but it was packed with good information. So check that out. Sam Kirker said, what's your average turn time? So my sell-through is about 0.5%. So per day. So it's pretty low. I'm a long tail seller, so I price my items higher. I'd rather have a slower sell through and get a higher value simply because I don't want to deal with all the back end time of shipping hundreds of items because when I'm working full time, I can't handle it. If I price them more competitively, I probably could get around 1% per day. That seems to be what a lot of the full-time clothing sellers are at, but yeah, I'm at like 0.5%. David Belling said, hey man, I live near you and I source about 200 to 300 pieces of clothing. I'm mainly Amazon and do not have time for it. Would you be interested in buying it? Absolutely. Shoot me an email, Davis, at entrepreneursllc@gmail.com. It's also linked up in my YouTube about me and contact info. Shoot me an email, give me some details behind that, and I'm sure we can work something out, because anytime I can buy in bulk, I'm happy with that. Entrepreneur said, question, what packaging do you place your suits in, pants, and jackets? So I ship them in polybags, self-seal polybags. They go in a clear one when they're stored with their inventory number, and then they go into the mailing one, which is like a self-sealed gray polybag. They're 12 by 15 inches. Let's see. Drummer said, when does your bulk shipment arrive? So for those of you who don't know, I ordered a bulk shipment, 4 pallets of 3,000 new without tags LL Bean dress pants and jeans. It's a mix of women's and men's. It should be here Thursday or Friday this week. I'm really excited about it. I'm nervous because nervous is kind of sight unseen. I got a bunch of pictures before I bought it, but you just never know what they pack in there. I plan to get a bunch of people over here, and we're going to process through it as fast as I can. That way, I can get feedback back to the buyer if I need to demand some money back if it's a bad buy, and or just to process through it and get it up. So I'm pretty excited about that. Better Barbie said, did you get to try Skyline while you're in Cincy? Yeah, Better Barbie. So thank you for all the recommendations from everyone. I was in Cincinnati for work this week. It was a really fun trip, and I ate at Skyline Chili. It was actually really good. It was odd, like having spaghetti with chili and all that stuff was kind of odd, but it was good. And I actually liked the Coney dogs just as well. Those were good too. But it was a different too, because like it was like that fast casual, I guess they call it. So it was like they had a drive-through and it was fast food, but you also sat down with the waitress, and so it was cool. Like I enjoyed it. So thanks for the recommendation. Sam Kirker said, how did you find that lot? So that's going to be the one thing that I'm not going to share with you guys as I develop relationships for bulk buying. And it's not because I'm mean or anything like that, but as I'm trying to develop my business and my pipeline, like those are things that can be really competitive. And as I develop those relationships, especially the good ones, like I'm going to keep those private to myself. I don't mind sharing all the other things I'm doing. There's plenty out there from thrift store perspective and inventory, but when it comes to bulk buying, I can't really share that. Ted Barnes said, I'm being bombarded with lowball best offers, which I'm rejecting. Any tips on when to accept? So my first tip, Ted, is don't reject them. Always counter. So counter, and if they're getting lowballs, then what I do is I just counter $1 lower than my listing price, and I just do $1 increments if they're going to keep lowballing me. But every time you exchange best offers, it's going to help your item in the search rankings, because to eBay it looks like a very active and desirable item. If you're declining and rejecting them, it's one less transaction back and forth that's going through the search algorithm. So just make sure you're always countering. Don't just reject them. Flip Flops All Day said, Luke, you buy shelving for the second unit yet? First fully lined yet? So I'm buying another shelf today to finish out my first unit. It's tricky because my first unit still has some personal stuff in it, so I don't have the layout exactly how I like, but it's very usable right now. I have to call the storage unit tomorrow and get another 10 by 20. For that, I'm probably going to buy 7 or 8 shelving units to get in there. And I'm going to keep my whole LL Bean lot in the second unit flip-flops, just so that I can keep it separate, track it separate. I think it'll be quicker when things ship. And because I'm doing multiple quantity listings, I think I need to keep it separate that way. But yeah, it's getting there. I'll post something on Instagram today. I'm going to clean out and consolidate my bins today since it's cold and rainy. I won't sweat to death in there. I need to consolidate all my bins and kind of clean it up and reorganize and set up the second shelf that I'm about to buy. Let me see what else I have here. Better Probably said, will you let us know when your website goes live? Yep. And I'm planning to do a live video tonight, guys. It'll probably be later this evening. And I'm just going to walk through the website. I'm going to obviously announce what it is. And I'll walk through all the different features on it. I mean, it's really just a basic WordPress site, but I've spun it out as more of a website. And I'll have a resource page for you guys to download any of the Excel documents I have for free. It's going to have like an entrepreneur type spotlight page where I'm just going to kind of recognize someone in the community, hopefully from different industries. You know, some can be resellers, but other industries too, of just kind of what they're up to, you know, how you contact them, what their business is about. And then I'll have a blog for myself where once a week I'm going to try to post I get a lot of the same questions and questions that are kind of themed. And so I'm going to try to like write a blog post to address, a question that gets asked frequently on the site. So that'll be kind of fun for me. And that's really the gist of the website. It's nothing more complex than that. Amy just said, did I miss your suit video with a guest? Yeah, about 2 weeks ago I did one, Amy, with Ronnie Hart. from Hearts Pickers. He is a wealth of information. I basically interviewed him, and we kind of went back and forth. It should be, if you scroll down in my channel, if the home video is part of my channel, it won't be too far down, and you'll be fine. It's full of great information. Michelle Matthews said, in bulk, there's always some you have to trash. What do you think is a reasonable percentage to expect will be unusable? Yeah, when I did my math, Michelle, and you're absolutely right, there's always a percentage that's going to be trash, most likely, or flaws they overlooked. When I did my math in calculating the purchase price and whether I wanted to pull the trigger, I was basically factoring a 15% garbage rate, which might be a little low. I'm not sure. I'm really new to this. I did find out already through Dave that I think I overpaid a bit for my lot. Which is fine. I mean, I'm still going to make money on it, but it was really insightful talking to him and just understanding that business model and how cheap these bulk buyers are getting into things for. So it'll be interesting. I think I'll make money no matter what. I think I might be in over my head manpower wise, but I'm going to learn a lot through it. There's a question. How's it going? You and your whole pile you had purchased. So I haven't had it yet. The bulk purchase will get here this week. Tony said, can we buy any of your trash for personal? If I'm going to trash items, I mean, I'm probably just going to do like a curbside pickup on Craigslist and let someone come grab them. Honestly, just because it's not worth the time to try and ship them or get them somewhere. And if I'm trashing them, I don't know that you guys are going to want them, because if I'm trashing them, that means they have flaws and aren't functional, and I'm not sure you'll be able to sell them for much. We got about 2 more minutes, guys. I'm going to take questions, and then I am going to jump off and keep crushing through these listings and then get over to my storage unit. How's everyone's April's going? Like, I've rebounded. Is everyone else kind of rebounding? You've seen sales spike up since Easter's ended? I mean, I attribute most of that wholeheartedly to Easter. I mean, I felt like the week leading up to it and then Easter Sunday and everything was kind of down. I also didn't factor in, someone brought up a great point, is that taxes were due that Tuesday after Easter. And I think that a lot of people probably weren't buying and they were just trying to get their taxes done. So that would also make sense why they're a little slower. Donna says their sales are slow. Yeah. I'm definitely not going to beat last month's, which there's one less day to sell in April versus March. So there's that. But I just think that the Easter holiday really got me good. Sherry said some people might use fabric for crafts. Oh, that's a good point. Drummer said starting to bounce back. That's great. Tony's having a really good month. April was 2,600 as yesterday. That's awesome, Tony. Great job. Ellie asked if I'm coming to reseller rally. Unfortunately, I'm not. It sounds really fun. It's really hard for me outside of working full time and working my business to get out and do stuff like that very often. It's unfortunate because it'd be a great networking opportunity. I think it's awesome to network with other resellers and just be around the like-minded people. But it's really tough for me just because I'm working, 40 hours a week, and I actually think I might have to travel again this week a little bit. So it's hard, and we have so many weddings Shannon and I planned this summer that we're going to get vacation and all the things that come with it's really tough. But if anyone else is going, I hope you have a great time. I hope everyone learns a ton and you just kind of get motivated and crush the rest of this year. I'll take one more question if we have one, and then I'm going to wrap up, guys. All right, that looks about good. Well, I really, really appreciate everyone stopping in. It is got a big chunk of the day left. I hope it's super productive for you guys. I hope you get to list a ton and that your sales keep crushing. I will be back later tonight with a summary of the website. It'll be a quick, probably 10-minute video just covering all the functionality of it. So hopefully we'll see you guys then, and if not, you can rewatch it later. And all of the free resources will be there for you to download, so you no longer have to email me and wait on that. So have a great day, guys, and check me out on Instagram. Like, comment, subscribe.